Rising prices of goods, decreasing average wages, inflation.
Competitive job market, rising company standards, small amount of jobs.
Negligence, selfishness, not helping others.
Permanent records, damaged businesses, failing prison systems.
No degree, lack of qualifications.
One of the biggest offenders towards poverty is a struggling economy. Unfortunately, it's a vicious cycle that is hard to break. When the people have less money to put into local businesses, the business is forced to cut jobs, ship overseas, hire foreign workers, or even shut down entirely. This results in less jobs and less money to stimulate the economy. The cycle continues.
Unfortunately, drug and alcohol abuse affects over 20% of the homeless population in America. Substance abuse has the potential to dominate the user's entire life, resulting in massive wastes of money towards the habit. Other negative effects include lower wages, lost employment, medical expenses, and legal costs.
Nearly everyone eventually comes across medical expenses. For some, this is the final nail in the coffin. Families that are already struggling are decimated by America's outrageous medical expenses, and this sends them into debt they often cannot climb out of. The average cost for one night spent in a hospital is $350, and serious treatment can cost tens of thousands of dollars.
Clearly, there are many varying circumstances that can plunge a family into poverty, and the negative effects that come with it are very serious.
As previously stated, the lacking of funding makes it extremely difficult for these victims to receive basic necessities. This inhibits their lives socially and sets them up for failure from the very beginning. In more serious medical cases, families are forced to choose between lifelong health defects or even death, or a lifetime of being buried in debt.
In lucky cases where families don't face tragic accidents, food and housing are both very expensive. More severely affected victims of poverty face homelessness, malnutrition, and borderline starvation. Every day is a constant struggle to stay warm and fed. This is, of course, a very difficult life to live. Such harsh conditions with low public support leads many to turn to crime, specifically theft, to feed themselves and their family.
While life is difficult enough, suffering from mental illness makes it much, much harder. And of course, receiving the treatment they need to improve themselves is out of the question. This results in entire lives being tarnished by negligence of others.
Every topic discussed is a very real issue, and the amount of people affected is perhaps the most tragic fact of all. As of March 2017, 14.5% of America, a whopping 45 million American citizens, fall below the poverty line. Every day they suffer from hunger, lack of shelter, crippling debt, and constantly deteriorating conditions. Currently, the U.S. unemployment rate sits at 4.5%, which is not only an unsettling number itself, but leaves 10% of Americans as hardworking citizens that cannot afford to put food on the table.
Fortunately, there is a sign that these numbers are slowly on the decline, but nowhere near fast enough. There is still plenty of work to be done, and here's what you can do in your everyday life to help combat poverty.
Donate toiletries and clothes to those in need.
Donate food to canned food drives.
Volunteer at homeless shelters or help those in need.
Raising awareness about the issues of poverty and who it affects.
Extend a helping hand to those you see suffering.
It is difficult for any one person to make a change, but every little bit counts. Together, we can bring about the change to help millions of affected men, women, and children live a better life.